friends and family over here at Adam's Garage. I'm gonna get this clock set back up. As a matter of fact, let's test it one more time. The ground cable would just go to the body of the clock like this. The 12-volt source would go to the pin on the back of it like this. You saw the points kick, the wheel starts spinning. So that's a win as far as getting the clock running. And you got to remember those points. So you got to check under there also, because you'll get rust that'll form, over a 40 or 50-year-old, 30-year-old clock. Try the simple stuff before you get into the windings and etc. Because 99% of the time, from what what I've seen, is that on YouTube and talking to other people, and even on the website, Corvette website, is that the points will get a little, how to burn off or whatever you want to call it, and just take thin sandpaper and hit that rascal. I'm going to disconnect this. As you see, it's going to run for a little bit because it's still you may be able to see that rascal running. You see the wheel there still running. And it's pretty much a breeze taking it together and putting it back, taking it apart and putting it back together. You got your case right here that your clock goes in. Of course, you got your hole that's going to go back there. Got to get this thing in here spun around the correct way. I've got it the wrong way. My hands are in the way, but that's how you go in your case. And the front of it, sitting down in the cone in the case. That's how it looks on the front. And you've got tabs here and here and here that are going to have to be bent back over, and that's what holds the unit in its deal. And the next step you would do, family, make sure you got your dial where it goes on correctly. So the position would be in this orientation, because it would have to come through, this long rod would come through down at the bottom. So your orientation of your I've got to take this screw off. It's in the way. This is your adjustment knob. See, it comes off there. The orientation, excuse me, I'm left-handed, so I'm going to be in your field of vision for a second here. And I don't have the other part attached yet, but this is, it goes back together. Then of course your hand would go on from there. So the first thing I want to do is I want to bend these tabs back over. Let me get my needle nose pliers here. You got to be careful with those because you don't want those ears to break off. And take your time with them. I need to get my block of wood. Hold on one second here, folks. You can use a screwdriver or you can use the unit itself. It's your choice what you want to do. Or that's back over it. And where the third one is back over it. So now your clock is attached. Try to tap this again one more time here. Okay, now you would go with your face. Let me show you. Hopefully this is focusing for you. Good. Hopefully this is focusing. Now this I found a little trickier to do. when I was getting it off. See, that one went back in there. That one I've got to bend and get in there. And there's one that's got to be bent right there. So, also be careful. And this shows you how that face goes back on. Those tabs will actually hold them down. Now let me tell you something, those tabs are really thin. So if you keep flexing on them and bending on them, they are going to break. And you don't want that to happen, because then you'd have to figure out another way to make everything attach itself. So on the back of it, on the back of your clock, you have a, this is where your power goes. And I apologize, like I said, I'm left-handed, so everything is going to be probably off in your way, you guys and young ladies. And the orientation of your power, mine's is pointing basically down this way. So where the dash power came in from the back, and you can get a socket and attach it, but I don't feel like digging one, so I'll use the trusty old needle nose vice grips. I mean, it doesn't have to be monkey gorilla tight. Just snug it up, because you don't want to take the chances of breaking something. And this seat's against your gauge housing on the inside. And I'm going to clean this up, and then I'll get with you in a second about getting the dials back on. So stay tuned. If you need to go grab a Coca-Cola, go ahead, and I'll be right back through through technology. Be right back. Just like magic, we're back. I had to track down my WD-40, my Windex. A little bit on the rag. And I'm not sponsored by any of these products. And basically, you just want to wipe it down, nothing heavy. You don't want to spray it, because you don't want to get that alcohol base in there. This Windex has alcohol in it. Wipe it off. I had fingerprints on it because I've been handling it, so naturally I needed to wipe that stuff out. Let me get my hands. Be with you in a second. Okay, my YouTube family and friends. I've got one hand started on there. The hour hand. You press it, and it's down on there. The next hand would be the middle hand. And we'll just put that on at a different angle. We got that rascal down on there. My YouTube fans and family, you see there's slots to where that opens up enough to tighten itself around. But take your time doing that. And then we have the second hand. And if you notice, that goes inside. It has a little shaft that'll go inside the unit. Got it started. That's how it should look. And to test it, let's put this adjustment handle back on. That's your adjustment. Check that before you put it back together, because you want to make sure that the hour hand and the minute hand are not binding, touching each other. So, it took this rascal up. Let me get a clip to go on back of that. Yeah, my YouTube family said I'll keep these old ones from a previous project or something I was doing, because you always need a clip or a piece. That way you don't have to make one. And let's turn the power on here. And we now have a working clock. And that is fixing the clock right there. Second hand is moving, it's not jerking, it's smooth. You can hear it ticking inside. I just wanted you to see, you make sure that the hands are not touching when they're going around. That's getting a little close to that second hand. The second hand in that whatchamacallit hand, getting a little close. Okay. Just turned it back on. And what I'm using is a Harbor Freight jump box, portable jump box. Like I said, nobody is a sponsor of mine. This is stuff I pay for myself. So in a nutshell, all it needed to do is be lubed up in this clock. This is a 75, and a lot of the clocks, 10 years, usually they stop working in these vehicles. So I've revived it, a simple fix. Kind of give you an idea. And power's off to it, so it's going to run. It's wound, that point kicks back and gives it a winding until those points need to touch again to kick it back into gear again. So it's still running right now, so it still has a little bit of juice, and it should stop in a little bit. There we go. The points are back together, and it needs that 12-volt charge to kick it off again. So that's another part. Take it off the stand here. So that's one step closer. The repair of my clock. And this video is a little long. I'm sorry about that. But the original factory radio, this one, it has a plate that goes around it. I took it off already. It has the SD card, or you can plug a USB port in there. But I don't want that. I want the original radio back in it. So this is the original one, and this is the original amplifier. And this one's a mono. It's not a stereo unit, which is why I took it out originally, but it's time for it to go back to somewhat of original state. And these are front speakers that are going to go in it, because my front speakers are original 75 and they wore out. So, and this is what I had in the back of it. Sound pretty decent. And those are just Boss speakers. They're not high dollar speakers. But anyway, friends and family, I appreciate you stopping by Adam's Garage again. Once again, it's always a pleasure having you stop by. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to get out the light. So, once again, it's a pleasure having you stop by, and please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, Adam's Garage and more, and we will be bringing you more content. I really appreciate it. Thank you, you, and you. Really appreciate it. And the whole mass of everybody for stopping by. I'm going to get out of here and let you go back to your daily routine. And I'm going to get out of this heat and get myself back to my routine. So if you got any questions, please comment down below. If you need any help with your clock, please comment down below. I'll help you. Hey, man, lady, wherever, I'll help you no matter what. If you got any questions you need answered or anything. But please subscribe to my channel. That helps with the algorithms. Please like my video if you like it. And please refer my channel to other people. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I can only do it with your help. So, and with everybody's help there. So once again, I'm going to get out of here. It's Adam's Garage. You have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next one.